Well, last year in November, I was at the police station not because I was convicted of a crime, but because I was there to protect the interest of my client who lives abroad. Fast forward, what happened was that I was at the police station to defend the documentation of my client's property. Whilst I was there was another homeowner, somebody who owned the property and claimed that he had a title to the property. And when the police asked him to bring the evidence that showed that he owned the property, what did he bring out? An indenture. It's funny today, but I remember how angry he was, and he kept screaming, "I have the document to the property, it is mine." And the police were like, somebody had come here with the same land plotting and claims with a title that the property belonged to them. This man was so furious because he was sure he had the title to the land, but when he brought his document out, it was an indenture. And I thought, oh, how I felt sad for him. If he only knew that there was a difference between an indenture and a registered property. He realized he had goofed. I felt sorry for him because he had invested, but the fact is that there's a difference between an indenture and a registered property. The most interesting thing is that in Ghana, by law, do you know that it's only 3 districts that by law are qualified to give you a title or a deed of conveyance? Tema, Upper Kumasi, or the Major Kumasi, and Greater Accra. So if you have a property with a TDC, you're sure that when they say it's registered and it's titled, it is. When you do that with the Land Commission, it is, and that is the seat of land administration in the whole of Ghana. And then Major Kumasi, because I think it is a stool land, and then that is vested in the Minshia or the Asantehene. And so what am I trying to say today? I'm trying to show you the difference between an indenture and a deed of conveyance and a titled land. So then I'd like to take you through the process of owning a property in Ghana. Don't forget your due diligence. Yes, sometimes we're excited, we have the money, we want to invest, but I tell you, do your due diligence. Make sure the person that claims that they own the land is the rightful owner. You can do this by searching from the Lands Commission, and also conduct your own search and make sure that a surveyor goes and stands on the property where they have demarcated for sale, and make sure that they pick that point, send it to the Land Commission, and make sure that that land belongs to who it says it belongs to. And when you've made your findings, be sure to confirm that that person or the family are the rightful owners of the land. Yes, sometimes in the past, there've been some kind of fight or misunderstanding between families in regards to lands. Sometimes there might be an old owner, but their names have not been removed as owners. You can still go and negotiate with those owners. Make sure that if they had a fight, there's been a judgment, a clear judgment from the courts to give it to the rightful owner, whom may be the person you're buying from. When you buy a land, make sure your surveyor, that's the most important thing. The first step is that thing called an indenture, where your surveyor comes, picks the actual land, and then goes to the Lands Commission, create a barcode with that, and then that's when you begin the process of owning a land in Ghana. Brings me to my next question. What is an indenture? An indenture is a primary document that states that you have interest in a particular land. And what is the responsibility of a client, somebody who wants to buy, towards an indenture? When a homeowner or a property owner gives you an indenture, that is only to state that you have begun the primary process of owning or showing your interest in a particular property. So the next step after you show interest in the property is for you, the buyer, the new buyer, to get a surveyor to make sure that the land you're standing on, the land that you have shown interest in, is what is plotted and documented with what is called the barcode or the cadastral, to make sure that it is what it says it is. So with the plotting, the surveyor will take this to the Land Commission and make sure that there is no name on that property, or the person that claims to be the owner is the rightful owner. Then you can go to the next step of doing what? Of making sure that you start the process of registering the property. Resale value of properties that are not titled are quite low. And so if you are a property owner, you've acquired a property, you have to make sure that it gets to the end point, which is to be titled. If you want to resell a property, a land, and it doesn't have a title, it devalues that property. So make sure you finish the process and close the deal, so that if you want to resell in the future or you want to do anything, you're very protected and there is no wahala in the future.